During a recent episode of The View, co-host Joy Behar made a comment that ignited a firestorm of controversy. While discussing Caroline Leavitt, the 27-year-old press secretary for Donald Trump's campaign, Behar insinuated that Leavitt was chosen for her role based solely on her appearance. She remarked,
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job.
The statement was met with immediate criticism as it reduced Leavitt's credentials and experience to nothing more than her looks. Given that Behar has often positioned herself as a champion for women's rights and empowerment, many found her remarks hypocritical and offensive. Instead of fostering a meaningful discussion about Leavitt's qualifications, the conversation took a dismissive and derogatory turn. The backlash began almost instantly, with viewers and critics alike calling out the inherent sexism in Behar's statement. In an era where professional women constantly fight against being judged by their appearance rather than their abilities, Behar's words were widely seen as a step backward. This controversy was just the beginning of a larger debate that would soon engulf The View and its hosts.
The View hosts have got themselves into hot water again after they did the very thing they purport to be against, undermining women's success. Joy Behar stunned viewers when she said Donald Trump's press secretary, 27-year-old Caroline Leavitt, only secured her position because of her good looks.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The comment was bizarre, especially coming from Joy Behar, who is as woke as they come and positions herself as a champion of feminism. This online commentator said, disgusting Joy Behar of The View accuses Caroline Leavitt of being hired only because Donald Trump thought she was a 10.
The reaction to Behar's remark was swift and widespread, with many accusing her of blatant hypocrisy. Behar has long been a vocal advocate for feminism, often using her platform to criticize sexism in politics and media. However, by reducing Caroline Leavitt's achievements to her looks, she contradicted the very principles she claims to support. Social media erupted with criticism from people across the political spectrum. Even those who do not align with Leavitt's political views condemned Behar's comment as inappropriate and demeaning. The controversy highlighted a recurring issue in mainstream media: the selective application of feminist values. While progressive women are often celebrated and defended, conservative women frequently find themselves subjected to ridicule and belittlement. The backlash against Behar served as a reminder that true feminism should uplift all women, regardless of their political beliefs. As more people began to call out The View for its double standards, the controversy gained traction beyond social media, making headlines in mainstream news outlets. This incident not only damaged Behar's credibility, but also raised broader questions about The View's commitment to fairness and inclusivity.
Yes, and as you mentioned, with conservative women, there's a long list of that, both of Trump's previous press secretaries, females, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany, other figures like his campaign manager the first time, Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Palin very famously had to bear the brunt of a lot of this. So people are used to that. I think in their bubble of the audience that The View speaks to, that's probably kind of what the groupthink is. So
Rather than ignoring the controversy, Caroline Leavitt took the opportunity to respond with confidence and poise. Instead of engaging in a petty exchange, she addressed the issue head-on, highlighting the broader problem of media bias against conservative women. Leavitt pointed out that Behar's comment was not just an attack on her, but on all women who have worked hard to earn their place in politics. She emphasized that her role as a press secretary was based on her experience and qualifications, not her appearance. Leavitt also took the discussion beyond herself, drawing attention to the repeated attacks against conservative figures like Donald Trump. She noted that media narratives have contributed to real-world hostility, including 2 assassination attempts against Trump.
Oh, please, his opponents are saying to this very day the same rhetoric that led to those 2 attempts. The second attempted on President Trump's life echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie, and yes, you will take political like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Last week, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris said that everyone who showed up to President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was a That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that is spewed by the Democrat Party every single day. And I am so sick and tired of the media pointing the finger at Donald Trump and saying that he is sowing division in this country. He is not. The media is for pushing hoaxes like the one that you all pushed today, and the Democrat Party is for pushing lies about him. But the good news is Americans don't buy it. And that's why today President Trump is more popular than he has been since 2006.
Her response was measured yet powerful, turning the narrative on its head. Instead of playing the victim, Leavitt used the opportunity to highlight the hypocrisy of The View and expose the biases prevalent in mainstream media. Her confident stance earned her widespread praise, even from those who do not share her political views, proving that integrity and strength in the face of adversity resonate with a broad audience. As the conversation escalated, Whoopi Goldberg attempted to steer the discussion away from Trump and back to a more neutral topic. However, her efforts backfired dramatically.
She may be, but my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
Instead of smoothly transitioning the discussion, Goldberg's deflection made it clear that The View was uncomfortable addressing its own biases. Leavitt refused to be sidetracked, firmly insisting on staying on topic. This moment was pivotal because it showcased the show's tendency to avoid accountability when confronted with uncomfortable truths. Goldberg's attempt to downplay the controversy only made it more obvious that The View was struggling to control the narrative. Viewers took notice, and many praised Leavitt for her composure and ability to hold her ground. The exchange further fueled online discussions about how mainstream media often manipulates conversations to suit their preferred narratives. By refusing to let Goldberg deflect, Leavitt demonstrated that she was not intimidated by The View's panel and was more than capable of handling tough conversations. This moment solidified her standing as a formidable political figure and left Goldberg and her co-hosts scrambling to regain control of the discussion.
Sarah Palin very famously had to bear the brunt of a lot of this, so people are used to that. I think in their bubble of the audience that The View speaks to, that's probably kind of what the group think is. So one defense, I guess, is that she was speaking to her audience, but you take it outside of that bubble the way you are right now, and we all can see what it is. It was also interesting, too, because she was conflating two ideas. This word wokeness didn't look like she really understood what it meant, or certainly the way Caroline Leavitt meant it when she made that statement, and she was conflating it with civil rights and how women didn't have the right to vote or own property and all of that. That has nothing to do with wokeness, which is, of course, about putting people in there because of their immutable characteristics rather than the merit that they bring to the table.
This exchange further solidified Leavitt's credibility while exposing the weaknesses in The View's approach to controversial topics. Goldberg's outburst became another example of how The View struggles to handle dissenting opinions, ultimately damaging its own credibility in the process. The audience reaction to this heated exchange was mixed, with some viewers supporting Goldberg while others sided with Leavitt. Many took to social media to express their frustration, feeling that The View had lost its credibility. As the controversy escalated, calls for Joy Behar's resignation intensified, with critics demanding accountability for her remarks. With trust in the show eroding, the future of The View remains uncertain as it struggles to recover from the backlash. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.